Now then, if Don Revie had to form an England table football team, there's no doubt where he'd be now, here. Because today, it's the Indoor League Table Football Final, featuring 4 guys who'd cost $1 million on the transfer market. John Kropak and Frank Bowkett, Doncaster's answer to Matthews and Finney, against Nellie Nelson and Junior McCrith, who are so keen they do a lap of honour when they win the toss. Remember, it's first to 6 goals wins, as we join Keith Macklin.
John Kropak and Frank Bowkett from Doncaster kicking this way. Junior McCrith and Nellie Nelson kicking to the goal at the top end. And a goal immediately for Junior McCrith and Nellie Nelson right in the first 30 seconds. Well, that's a shock for John Kropak and Frank Bowkett, last year's beaten finalists. The referee, Terry Arth, Welsh international soccer player. So, on the left, Kropak and Bowkett, very experienced players from Doncaster, already 1 down. Junior McCrith and Nellie Nelson. They're the men on the right, defending at the moment, trying to move the ball away from the defensive lines. That's Kropak and Bowkett. A lot of supporters behind them from Doncaster, very, very noisy, making their presence felt. They'll have to now with their side 1 down, but of course Kropak and Bowkett, very cool players. Played together for years, know each other's style, but this is McCrith and Nelson moving the ball across the attack line, looking for another opening for a second goal, and it's there! There we see it again, tremendous attacking play. One delight. So 2-0. Well, Kropak and Bowkett. This game being watched by last year's winners, Campbell and Hall, just behind Terry Orrath. Beaten in the first round, remarkably. That's a long shot from the back by Kropak and Bowkett. Kropak's the attack man, trying to manoeuvre for position. He gets it back again, but fortunately he's looking for a goal. Ready for the shot. Oh, good one. A beauty. Really beautifully worked goal. There's his outside man, inside, and a quick shot. Fine goal by Kropak and Bowkett. Good finishing, puts them in the game now at 2-1. And they're still on attack. Junior McCrith won't want to be caught by that move again. He's keeping his defenders still, and it worked. Now back up, but it's still in the defence of Kropak and Bowkett. This is the nerve game. Men moving no more than an inch or 2 inches. There's a shot right from the back. The beauty of this game, you can hit them from anywhere, and they really fly. The Londoners, McCrith and Nelson, leading 2-1. And it's Bowkett and Kropak again manoeuvring for position. The attack man, John Kropak, already scored 1. McCrith's covering his goal beautifully with the back line of defence and his goalkeeper. Now McCrith to move from the back. There they are, the 2 laddies from London. In for an attack, a chance of a goal. It's up to Frank Bowkett now. Very experienced defender, but not experienced enough there. It's 3-1. Well, a surprise could be on the cards if this continues. 1-3 down, the Doncaster lad. McCrith and Nelson have their supporters in the crowd with the greatest volume of noise coming from this Doncaster set of supporters. Now in the front line from McCrith and Nelson. Very much in the ascendancy at the moment. 3-1 up and playing very confidently and coolly. This is Nellie Nelson. 4-1. It's all running away from Kropak and Bowkett. Let's see it again. Another good shot. So there's been a drastic change in the Doncaster side. They're 4-1 down. They've had to do something about it, and Frank Bowkett has moved up into the attack with John Kropak moving into defence. It's obviously a change that they didn't want to make. It's, well, it could be too late. It's 5-1 now. Here it is again, a long way from the back, and 5-1. McCrith and Nelson only 1 from home. So can this change work for Kropak and Bowkett? Frank Bowkett now has moved into attack. They're 5-1 down. They can't concede another. 5-2, so the change has paid off at least once. Here it is again. Good manoeuvre and a good shot. So 5-2, but really Kropak and Bowkett in serious trouble as we come back live. 5-2, there's the score. John Kropak. Oh, it's a good one. That really was a surprise, right from the back of Belter. So it's 5-3 now. Kropak and Bowkett of Doncaster fighting back against Nelson and McCrith of London. with Frank Bowkett in attack. John Kropax turning around and telling his noisy supporters to move back a little. They're jogging his elbows. John Kropax, former attacker, now defending, having a look at the angle, at the lie, at the defence, ready to whip one from the back. 5-3 down, Doncaster. 5-4! Terrific stuff, this. 5-4 from 5-1. And what a win this would be if they could do it. Kropax in defence, in possession. One more to equalise. McCrith and Nelson, after skating it at 5-1, haven't been able to get possession since then. Since the changeover on the other side of the table. John Kropax. Manoeuvring, loses out now. This is a great moment for Nellie Nelson if he can get in a shooting position. A nerve-wracking moment for the Doncaster boys. They can't lose another goal. 5-4 down. Nellie Nelson laughing. Trying to psyche them out of it. Atmosphere getting a little noisy. And Nelson loses out, so Kropax and Bowkett breathe again. John Kropax trying to work it out of defence. Nelson and McCrith, that's a good one from the back. The goalkeeper had to look smart to get across. Oh, 5-0! Would you believe it? From 5-1 to 5-5, it's all on this last goal. My word.
We now call on the winners of the Indoor League table football to come and collect their medals and cheque. Can you come? And Junior McCrith. Congratulations.
What a climax. Bowkett and Kropax losing the final for the second year running. But no one can begrudge Nellie Nelson and Junior McCrith their victory. While they do a well-earned lap of honour, we're going to take a break. But in a couple of ticks, it's a turn of the fellas who never get sand kicked in their faces. The arm wrestlers. Hull City. When we introduced arm wrestling into the last series, we thought we'd found some pretty big fellas. Well, compared with the muscle men we've got coming up now, the last lot look like extras from Gulliver's Travels. The first contest will prove the point. It's between Halifax's Jack Lees, who's a stuntman, and Clive Myers, who's a pro all-in wrestler. Ian Campbell's the ref, and Dave Lanning's doing the chat.
Also on gaining a fall. Are you both comfortable? You will wrestle on the sound of the bell.
Jack Leeds on the right, and Myers, the boy from Wandsworth. Myers has got the first fall there without very much trouble at all. A professional wrestler who's been arm wrestling for 3 years. Only a small character compared to some of the brawn we've got around here. But Jack Leeds, that was a surprise. Straight away, first fall to Myers. So it's Myers now on the right. There is Myers.
The sound of the bell, start wrestling.
Remember, it's 3 2-minute rounds, and Myers with one fall to his credit, and now it's Lees again, and Lees complaining to referee Ian Campbell there about something or other, taking the strain, and Myers is going to do it.
Never left the table.
Myers has done it, and Jack Lees was not very happy about that, but a very impressive first win for Clive Myers from Wandsworth there, and Ian Campbell, well, nobody's going to argue with him, are they?
See what I mean? Now Jack Lee's kid brother's in action. He's up against Mike Gill on the left.
Straight away making amends, Tony Lees, and that was an express strain. Straight down, no nonsense. One fall to Tony Lees.
Take hold, get yourself
Just look at those biceps.
and start wrestling.
Tony Lees now on the left of your frame.
Start wrestling on the bell.
And it's straight away again. Tony Lees, what power, very impressive. He goes forward.
Revenge is sweet and swift for Tony Lees. Now it's Stanbar of Hawkshead on your right and Derek Kemp.
You will start wrestling on
Remember,
the
it's 3 2-minute rounds. They just must flatten those hands and their elbows must not leave the table. It's Kemp on the left and Barr on the right. And Barr gets a fall. A real knuckle buckler, straight down. And really, we're getting some whirlwind action here in this championship this year. They turn over.
Gentlemen, get yourself
And Barr from the red line in Hawkshead.
And
Likes hunting, shooting and fishing.
on the bell.
His opponent, Derek Kemp, beaten with consummate ease in the first fall, but really going down again. Barr wins quite comfortably. No nonsense.
Here's another bloke who'll stand no nonsense. Philip Bootman, known as King Ben. He's on the left. Against him, Derek Gillett.
In the 1974 Indoor League Arm Wrestling, and as referee Ian Campbell, the imposing figure there, explains the rules, we can introduce the competitors. On the left there in the sexy psychedelic vest, we have King Ben, Phil Bootham of Keighley, one of the favourites to win. His opponent, we have young Derek Gillett of Shepherd's Bush, 26, single, only been arm wrestling for 2 months. He's a hotelier. So Derek Gillett, who looks like he could use some of their products too.
Start wrestling on the sound of the bell.
King Ben. And as the bell goes, they take the strain, and it's King Ben there, pushing all his power and gets a fall. A bit of a pushover. So King Ben, that's him on the right now, remember. That is King Ben. He is a nightclub bouncer from Keighley, Yorkshire Amateur Wrestling Champion. He's been his great party trick, we are told, apart from arm wrestling and winning like that. King Ben, no trouble at all. His great party piece is riding a unicycle after drinking 12 pints. And he really could be celebrating after that win. Derek Gillett goes out, King Ben goes forward.
The next match features 2 Southerners. Roy Conegale will be on your left and Dermot Egerty, who's deaf and dumb but lets his muscles do the talking.
Roy Conegale on the left, and that's his wife Janet, the lady with the red hair, his greatest supporter, really, as Haggerty. There's some real action here, some tremendous action, and Conegale fighting back, and really this one's a tight one. Conegale holding hard against Dermot Haggerty.
Get him right.
And they really seem to be having a right battle this time. Ian Campbell there, the referee, watching carefully here. The arms seem to be getting straighter and straighter. Haggerty there on the right. And it's the first fall to Haggerty. Roy Conegale, the sporting loser there. 1 fall then. So we have Dermot Haggerty 1 up there. He enjoys surfing and swimming. He moved to London 3 years ago after being the Munster weightlifting champion. Married with 2 children. That's Dermot Haggerty. His opponent, Roy Conegale, reasonably successful, got into the quarter-final and really grimacing into action. The pictures tell their own story, and Conegale's gone out. That's another fall to Haggerty, and that really was quite a battle. Muscle power, magnificence. Haggerty goes forward.
Now one of the favourites, Norm Burnett from Colne in Lancashire versus Dennis Popple of Huddersfield.
It's strong enough that the elbow must never leave contact.
I think that referee Campbell has given the first fall to Popple on a disqualification. We don't know. We'll have to get a look there. Look at that. Taking the clasp strain there. Sounds like something out of the railway station. And there goes Burnett again. Burnett really throwing it all on, and Burnett's going to fall. Burnett has a fall, and we just try and get clarification on whether a first fall was given. An equalising fall. some confusion there, but anyway, certainly one fall to Burnett.
And wrestle on the belt. Now, once again, gentlemen, your elbows
Norman
must
Burnett,
remain
3 times
on
winner
the
of the
table.
Victoria Ford Challenge Trophy, Northeast champion. It's 1-1. He has given, referee Campbell has given a fall to this man on a disqualification. Here goes Burnett. That'll do. Burnett goes forward. Out goes Dennis Popple. Really a ferocious display of power there from Norman Burnett. He goes forward in the Indoor League Arm Wrestling Championship.
Norman Burnett remains unbeaten. Now the quarterfinals. The first features Bill Brownlee of Yorkshire and the reigning Indoor League champion Don Buster Whitney. Well, on your left, remember, it's the best of 3 falls.
Keeping the elbows on the table.
The bell sounds, remember, it's 3 2-minute rounds. A fall is just straight down on the surface, and that's Buster Whitney. There is Brownlee, in fact. Brownlee straining, trying to summon the sinews. But Whitney really is a true pro at this, and Whitney has won that first one very quickly indeed. So Buster Whitney, 1973 Indoor League Arm Wrestling champion. Didn't concede a fall last year. Hardly raised a sweat, and he looks pretty cool this time as well. There's Buster Whitney. His opponent, Bill Brownlee, though, he's no mug.
Lifting his elbow off the table will lose the fall.
Former rugby league player.
Wrestle on the bell.
Been arm wrestling for 15 years. 32 years old. Comes from Methley. And in trouble again as Whitney starts the muscle hustle. Here goes Don again, and he's going to do him. Yes. Again, he does not play ducks and drakes. The reigning champion looking for another title win without any doubt at all.
So Buster goes through. Now what should be a real testy tussle. It's between Clive Myers, who's out to prove you don't have to be big to be strong, and unbeaten Norman Burnett from Lancashire. It's Myers on the left.
So the second quarter-final on the left, the coloured boy, Clive Myers from Wandsworth in London, a professional wrestler. And his opponent, Norman Burnett, 15 stone from Colne in Lancashire, who is also the North of England cock-a-hoop champion, and that's leg wrestling. But Myers really is a cool customer. Just look at the way he's looking at them. That is muscular malevolence. Burnett has never been beaten, but he's in trouble this time, and just look at Myers. Burnett's holding him now, I think. The pictures tell their own story. And a fall has been given by referee Ian Campbell, has it?
It wasn't a fall. Both players have been warned they must keep the elbow on the table.
And so we are back to square one. We're starting all over again.
You ready?
No fall.
Wrestle on the bell. Now
So
the
this
elbows
is
must be
the
on table
first leg.
all the time.
2 minutes. Myers again. Straight. The pressure goes on. And that is a fall this time. Myers did not make any mistake, and so Norman Burnett from Lancashire facing defeat for the first time in arm wrestling history.
Got 20 seconds, take hold and wrestle on the bell.
So remember, this is the thumb class. The World Amateur Arm Wrestling Championship rules, a thumb clasp. You can see it there, a gripping experience. And Myers again. Myers looking to referee Ian Campbell, says, will that do, mate? And Burnett fighting for his life. And Myers saying, come on. Referee Ian Campbell still not happy as Burnett fights to hang on to his unbeaten record. And Myers really has got it this time, and Norman Burnett has been beaten for the first time in arm wrestling history, and his opponent there, Cliff Myers, a smaller man, he says he wants to win to prove a point that small men can still be strong. He's doing just that.
In the excitement, even Dave Lanning got his name wrong. Clive Myers goes through after a real cliffhanger, and Burnett is beaten for the first time. Now it's Tony Lees to take on Stan Barr.
So the third quarter-final of the Gentlemen of the Pressure. On the left-hand side, Stan Barr from Hawks Head, 30-year-old, the Courage Southern Northwest champion. His opponent, one of the co-favourites, Anthony Lees of Halifax. Remember, they must get their hand 3 2-minute rounds. That is Lees. And that is referee Ian Campbell there, sniffing about, making sure that it's all fair play. And this really is developing into quite a battle. Barr and Lees, and just look at the power they are generating. You could light a new time with it. So what has happened, referee Ian Campbell is not happy. A disqualification there for raising the elbow, I'm sure.
20 seconds, you have, gentlemen. Seconds awaiting. Hold, wrestle on the bell. Wrestle.
And so, indeed, it was Stan Barr was disqualified for raising his elbow, and Lees made no mistake that time. No need for disqualification. Lees straight down. Incredible muscle power. So Lees goes forward into the semi-final.
Lees with ease. Now King Ben Boozman's back in action. The club doorman from Keighley is up against Dermot Egerty, the deaf and dumb boy from down south.
The last quarter-final of the 1974 Indoor League Arm Wrestling. And referee Ian Campbell, a spot of psychology there, I think, because that is Dermot Haggerty on the right of your picture there, deaf and dumb, and you will see now that instead of a bell, you won't be able to hear the bell. Referee Ian Campbell will bang the table to signal that the start of this last quarter-final is underway.
Instead of the bell,
so that's Dermot Haggerty there.
Not the table.
Deaf and dumb, former Munster weightlifting champion. Nice character. And his opponent here, King Ben, Philip Bootham from Keighley in the psychedelic vest. And there goes the bang. And into action they go. King Ben there, a picture of strain. Just look at that face. Haggerty fighting hard, summoning the sinew, but he's lost the first fall. First fall to King Ben from Keighley, a nightclub bouncer, former Yorkshire Amateur Wrestling champion. He's one up now. And this, here he is there. Reached the final last year in this competition. Seems to be looking for divine inspiration now. Quite an exciting vest to drive all the ladies into little paroxysms of pleasure. Haggerty there. Haggerty getting straight to business. Must wait for the table to be banged. They are there. They are, look, engaging clutch. And words cannot quite capture the look on that man's face. That is absolute poetry. And Haggerty's cracking. Haggerty's cracking. King Ben goes on and wins. King Ben, 2 falls to 0. Out goes the deaf and dumb boy Haggerty from London. Really super competition.
A right royal show of force by King Ben. And what a competition it's proving to be. Next time we'll have the 2 semi-finals and the final. Who'll be the strongest right arm in Britain? We'll also be having our first look at the game which they spend all their time playing in Northamptonshire and Leicestershire. Cheese Skittles. I'll say that.